Welcome, everyone, to Andrew Makes You Money, the show where Andrew tells you exactly who is going to win and by how much so that you can make money on college football. It's championship week. It's a big week, everybody. It's a super exciting time. And this episode, as all of them, are sponsored by AgriFeed Pet Supply in Knoxville, Tennessee. For all your pet supply needs, go to agrifeedpetsupply.com. Give us our disclaimer for today's show, nephew.
Yep. All right. Back to reality. Last week we didn't get another winning week. It was 4-5. So
Close.
we've at least been better, more consistently decent at least. But yeah, if you're trying to make these picks, you're not actually making money. This is pure entertainment, right? So what's the season now? We're at 26-40. That's just south of 40%. Not great, but again, the end of the season we got better. We're having fun with it, so that's the important part, right?
We definitely were heading in the right direction at the end of the season, for sure.
We had some tough ones, but it was close at the end at least.
Whenever we started involving, coin tosses, we got better.
Those are the best.
All right, so let's start off with Friday night. These are all conference championship games. We're going to start with Conference USA, the University of North Texas, the Mean Green, taking on the Roadrunners from University of Texas in San Antonio. Who you got, nephew?
Okay, so maybe you have more notes on this game than I do. I got 2 talking points of my research here so far. Okay, so the last team to beat UTSA in the regular season, do you know who that was?
Texas.
North Texas.
Oh,
yeah.
Bummer.
Not the long one. It's North Texas. You were close. You had the right word in there, right? Yeah, right. This season they played and UTSA won by 4. I think UTSA wins by more than 4 in this game. I don't know what the betting line is, but that's my pick. I'm picking UTSA by more than 4. What about you?
Yeah, I like that as well. I like the Roadrunners down there. They're doing good work down there in San Antonio.
Yeah.
All right, Pac-12. This is a big game. This one, Utah, USC. Is USC with a win they're in?
Right.
With a loss, chaos ensues. So
yeah, right. Because if they lose, they get 2 losses, and that opens the door for probably Ohio State sitting on the doorstep, right? A 1-loss team. But wouldn't it stink to punish a team for losing a conference championship game if they didn't play it with the standings as is? USC would be in, right? Right? I mean, so that's
absolutely,
my thing.
Absolutely.
I think it'd be wrong if they lose to take them out. But 2 loss, 1 loss, whatever. I think it'd be wrong to take USC out. They had 1 loss. It was a close loss to Utah. It was a late touchdown and a 2-point conversion, right? That was a crazy game. And then to lose I just think it'd be wrong, right? I think USC should be in. Here's the other thing. We've talked about it on some of my picks before. We picked the coaches. And I think Lincoln Riley finds a way. So I got USC winning this one.
Yeah, I think USC wins that one as well. I don't think there's going to be the controversy, but yeah, Ohio State doesn't even win their division in their conference. That's the part that, and I know Alabama gets in every year without winning the division of their conference, but whatever. But that's frustrating. All right. Anyway. All right. Saturday's games. We're going to go to a little football, not American football, but football in the rest of the world. USA versus the Netherlands. Can the boys representing the good old US of A, can they get into the round of 8 at the World Cup? Is that possible?
Well, they'd go to 16 next, right?
They're 16 right now, but if they 16, win,
you're right. They go around. You're right. I can't count. Right, that's it. Okay, so first of all, I love the sports schedule here, right? Friday night we go to sleep watching Pac-12 championship, right? Utah USC. You wake up early, you watch USA Netherlands, and then that leads right into the Big 12 championship with Kansas State TCU. How perfect is that, right? That's great.
Fantastic. So is Pulisic going to play in this game? Is he playing? Is he going to be 100%? What are we going to get from our player? Because he's our guy. Without him, I don't know.
My guess is he plays. Right? I don't know. I'm not an expert on this, but it's World Cup. You play every 4 years or every 8 if you're USA, right? I think he's got to get on the pitch, right? Do I think USA is going to win? Maybe not, but let's.
You don't have a clue. Neither do I.
No, exactly. But I'll fun watching it. That's all, right?
All right, USA all the way.
Yeah,
USA all the way. All right. Speaking of USA, Big 12 and Jerry World, like the guy who is just better at making money than anybody else in football. Jerry World has his own stadium down there, and it's going to be Kansas State against the Horny Toads of Texas Christian, who finds a way to win every week. Like, are they very good? I don't know.
So
Max
here's the
Duggan?
thing.
Like, I don't know.
I'll start with this. We'll start a little backwards and talk about it in a different way, right? I think Kansas State wins this game. Why not, right? Like they've had a couple big wins. I know they have 3 losses, but they've had some impressive wins too. Like you said, TCU finds a way to win. I'll also say this. Part of the reason why I'm picking Kansas State is I don't like Sonny Dykes. Like I hate the way he just berates officials on the sideline every single game I've seen TCU play. Like that annoys me, so I kind of hope they lose. But again, let's talk about this a little bit, right? Let's just pretend Kansas State does win. Is TCU out?
One loss TCU team. How
One
are they
loss.
out?
One loss in a conference championship. Like they should be in. But like, can you see the committee wanted to put Alabama, Ohio State ahead of TCU? Like,
Absolutely.
right? Like, I see
Absolutely.
it. It'd be wrong, but I see it.
Absolutely. If USC and TCU both lose, they're both out. They are,
And I
because
think it'd
the
be
committee
wrong.
doesn't
Yeah.
the committee doesn't want, yeah,
You're selling
doesn't
tickets.
want that.
Not tickets, but right, you're selling commercials and trying to get
Yep.
as many viewers as possible. I get it.
I think the Horny Toads find a way. Kansas State, here's the thing. Kansas State isn't going to beat themselves. They're not.
Right.
And so the TCU is going to have to win the game. Can they? Absolutely.
They can.
Max Duggan for president. I don't think he's very good, but like they just win
The
games.
system is, yeah.
Yeah, anyway. All right. That brings us to our coin flip game of the week. To let George decide. George is going to decide this next game because we have no clue about this game at all. And this is brought to you, as always, by Vintage Rosewood Soap, small business mother-daughter team, creating nourishing, all-natural skin care just for you out there, the viewers. So follow them on Facebook or Instagram at vintage_rosewood_soap to view and to order some amazing products. All right, so this week's Let George decide the game of the week is Toledo versus Ohio in the MAC. So let's just go straight to George because there's really nothing to say about this game because we got no idea.
Who's what side?
Toledo's going to be heads. Ohio is going to be tails. Toledo is heads. Ohio is tails, and it is heads. So I don't know who I said was going to win, but I think it's Toledo.
Watch out on the tape.
Toledo, you're going to win. Go Toledo, go. All right. Let's go to the Sun Belt.
Fun Belt.
Coastal Carolina versus Troy in the Sun Belt Championship. Who you got, nephew?
Okay, so here's what I think. I don't like the Coastal Carolina field. I know they're playing in Troy, but like I still have that picture in my head of that like weird colored turf for Coastal Carolina. I don't like that. And I know this was, I mean, several years ago at this point, but Troy beat LSU, right? Like that was a thing. That was a couple years ago. They beat Coach O and LSU.
I think so.
I realize that there's probably like 2 players on the team that played there, right? Like I know that's not them anymore.
It was probably in the Ed Orgeron days, and
it was
some
Coach
partying going on there.
Yeah, it was Coach O. But yeah, I mean, I haven't watched either of these 2 teams play, but like I'm looking at stats, and I think the Troy defense is good, so we got Troy winning this game. I have no idea.
I'm gonna go Coastal Carolina. They're the Chanticleers, right? Something like that. Some weird name.
Yeah. What is that? Do you know?
It's like a chicken or something, isn't it?
I think so.
I'm going with the chickens. Let's go.
We'll ask my dad. He knows.
Absolutely. All right. The SEC. LSU, Georgia. This game really doesn't matter at all. LSU is pretty much out after their loss to A&M, and Georgia is in no matter what they do. So this game doesn't matter one bit. Who's gonna win?
Close your eyes. Can you imagine LSU winning this game?
No.
Yeah, I mean, like I think it's possible, but like they were bad last week. Georgia's going to win this game. They've steamrolled a lot of teams, right? Oregon and Tennessee specifically. And I think Georgia wins again.
Yeah, Georgia wins. All right, the double AC, UCF and Tulane. Who you got?
Okay, this one's at Tulane. This is one of the 2 games I have where I like haven't made a pick yet. So I'm going to try to let you do you have a way you're leaning on this?
Tulane's gonna win this game, man. Tulane is the Golden Wave or something like that, like the Hurricane, or I don't know what they are, but they're gonna win.
They're one of the best jerseys in college football and uniform combinations. It's a cool logo. I've lived right across the street from the stadium. I wanted to pick Tulane, so I'm glad you said that. I hate UCF and their pretend national champions. So yeah, Tulane. We're both on that.
All right, let's roll with Tulane. All right, Mountain West, Fresno and Boise. Speaking of fields that just look weird, does that mean that you're anti-Boise?
Yeah, I mean, like I hate watching games at the stadium. It's hard to watch. It's just not enjoyable. So here's my note on this one. My research shows that Boise State beat Fresno State by 20 points last time they played. I don't think Fresno State's going to make all of that up. Maybe it's closer, but I'll still pick Boise. I haven't watched either of these two teams play, but that's what I got.
Yeah, that sounds like a good pick to me. All right. Now for the best segment of the show every week. It's the part everybody's looking forward to. Before we get to the Big Ten, of course, we have to have the bless your heart. So Wisconsin and you cheesy people out there, we're coming to you this week. And this is brought to you by Strategic Connection Coaching. If you're a college student who's looking to get some help right now, it's too late. Finals are here. You should have called Strategic Connection Coaching already earlier in the semester. But for next semester, call them up. Better yet, look them up online at strategicconnectionsadhd.com for all your assistance and help in just being a better student and a better human. So look them up online there. And that is brought to you, that is the Bless Your Hearts, brought to you by Strategic Connection Coaching by my sister, Tracy Everett. So anyway, Kyla, take it away for Bless Your Heart.
Jump around.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Bless Your Heart. I have a short one for you this week. I'm sorry, it's dead week for all the college students out there, and it's aptly named because I indeed am dying. This week's Bless Your Heart is dedicated to breaking tradition. Sometimes it's essential in order to implement real necessary change. Take mistletoe, for example. It was a lot more prevalent in the olden times, and you'd see it a lot more often with creeps using it to manipulate kisses out of anyone who was unfortunate enough to pass by. Unlike mistletoe, however, the University of Wisconsin's jump around tradition has lasted into the 21st century, and people are very specific about it. Basically, the Badgers do this thing where they play Jump Around by House of Pain at the end of the third quarter every single game, and the fans get into it, and it's like a whole thing. Well, someone, looking at you, offensive linemen, decided it would be a good idea to play it on their final drive and not in the third quarter like they usually do. Now, that doesn't seem like a huge deal to me, and it may not to you either, but fans are pissed. Twitter user on Wisconsin states plainly, haha, this entire offensive line should be ashamed of themselves for not living up to Wisconsin standards, and others have been less kind, using language that would get me in trouble if I were to use it on this podcast, seeing as my dad is one of the hosts. So, Wisconsin, you did an oopsie. You made a mistake. It happens to the best of us. I mean, I make stupid mistakes all the time, and it's usually fixable. Just maybe next time, stick to the tried and true. When it comes to this particular tradition, there's no need to jump around.
Thanks, Kyla, for that. Nephew, you have anything to say to add into that about Wisconsin-Minnesota game?
Yeah, I enjoyed that Bless Your Heart segment a lot more than I did last week, right? First time winning the Axe, back-to-back years in my entire memory life, right? Like it was 93, 94. I don't remember that. So yeah, that feels good. Like I don't know what it feels like to win the Axe, and now we get to see it 3 times in the past couple of years. So that's fun. I enjoy that. That was good.
Good on you, nephew. All right, sticking in the Big Ten, Purdue versus Michigan, another game that probably doesn't matter. Like Michigan's in no matter what.
Yes, I'll give you that. Yes, they're in.
All right, so who's going to win? Does it matter?
Okay, so I got 2 little notes for you. No, it doesn't
Okay.
matter. Michigan's in, right? Blake Corum, probably the best player in Michigan, knee surgery out for the season. I have a stat for you. Purdue, under Coach Brom, 3-0 versus top 3 ranked teams. What do you think?
I think they're going to be 3-1 after.
Yeah, me too. I try to give it a little glimpse, but no, it's Michigan, right? Michigan wins.
I think so. All right, ACC, Clemson, North Carolina. It's weird to have Clemson not really be in the playoff picture here.
Yeah.
Mac Brown has got those North Carolina Tar Heels playing a whole lot better than Steve Sarkisian has the Texas Longhorns playing, but I'm not hurt by that. But yeah, I am actually. So anyway, go ahead. Talk to us about Mac Brown versus Dabo.
All right, so I got a couple notes. This is the other game where I haven't actually made a pick, so I'm going to let you kind of lead me into one. Okay, so I'll lead you a couple thoughts. One, we tried to talk about coaches, and I've picked Dabo before, and that's worked well. But Mac Brown's a good coach too, right? Like, he's there.
How many national championships does the Dabo won?
At least one.
Mac's got one too.
Okay, yeah. So they're both. I mean, like, Mac Brown's a good coach.
Let's be real honest. Mac Brown was a great coach when he had Vince and Colt. Yeah. Dabo was a great coach when he had Trevor and that guy who
we won't say his
allegedly name. Assaulted all the ladies, whatever that guy's name is.
Yeah,
anyway, we won't mention
it. Don't say.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Anyway.
So that leads into my second point, though, with the quarterback talk. DJ, I can't say his name. Can you say it? I stumble over it every time.
Yeah.
He's not good at football, right?
No.
North Carolina quarterback, he is good at quarterback. So, is that the
he
difference?
didn't look very great, against North Carolina State the other day.
They're good defense, and so is Clemson. So this is my struggle here. We assume DJ plays. It's not Cade Klubnik, right? It'd be a weird time to move to a new quarterback in this game. Clemson has a much better defense than North Carolina. I don't know how much defense they're playing there, but I don't know. So I want to take North Carolina, but I kind of feel stupid doing that. What do you say?
I think Drake May is better than DJ. And I get that the Clemson defense is a lot better than I still like Mac Brown, to be honest. He has a soft
what does it matter, right? We're picking this game for fun. So we both want North Carolina. So let's say we both pick UNC.
North Carolina, go Tar Heels. Go Tar Heels. All right, nephew, it's been a great, fun first season here on the show. Talk to us about where we're going next.
Yep. So it's been a lot of fun doing this. We've both enjoyed it. I think my cousin Kyla has also enjoyed it. We've loved having her on this. It's been fun having your friends reach out and all of the sponsors are friends and family, which I also think is fun. But I think next year we're going to go to Spotify, probably on Spotify, and do a podcast instead. Face for radio, right? I think that's part of it. So we'll move to a podcast next season, but we're still going to do it. Maybe a little bit different format, but I think that's where we're going to go next. However, I did want to leave with one last actual pick in the season, because right now the rest of the show is just money line picks, who's going to win the game. We're just kind of picking for fun, but it's one of the best bets of the season. Do you know what next week is, Uncle Neely?
No, what's next week? Next
week is Army Navy. Do you know what you have to bet in that game?
The under.
The under. The Service Academy unders hit at an absolutely insane rate. It's always an impossible under to hit, and it hits without any issue whatsoever. So I don't even know what the line is yet, but I promise I'm going to bet the under for that game.
That is awesome. That is great advice, nephew. Well, thanks everybody for watching. It has been a great season, and it's been a lot of fun, nephew. I've really enjoyed it. Yep. Uncle Neely signing out for the last time on Andrew Makes You Money for the 2022 college football season.
Yep, thank you.